excuse me, sorry. I know if it's your child, you not put them there with this kind of result. Hey guys, it's Ohwge and welcome back or welcome to my channel. So from the title of this video, you already know, well, you don't even know what's about to go down because I'm about to give you guys gist. Okay, this is my first ever story time and I'm going to be telling you story of how I ended up studying medicine in Ukraine, how Nigeria almost messed me up, Unilag, UI. Anyway, let's just get right into it. Grab a drink or whatever. I don't know. It might be long, it might not be. I don't know. See how it goes, sha. Okay, so I'm going to start the story from after SS3. That's the last year in high school, secondary school. So, you know, we write WAEC or WASC. I'll just say WAEC, you know, because that's what we all call it. So we wrote WAEC, sha, and it's one of those exams you do after secondary school, and then you can go on to uni, you get. And then after WAEC, we do JAMB. JAMB is actually the acronym for the board. The exam is called UTME or UME, something like that. I don't remember. Anyway, I'm going to call it JAMB because that's what everybody knows it as. JAMB is like common entrance into any Nigerian university, I think, like federal. Abi, you should have to write JAMB before you enter uni, like it's compulsory. So after WAEC, we all studied and everything, and the way JAMB is, it's the total score is over 400. Everybody is expected to do 4 courses, and that will depend on what your future course of study in university is. So for me, since I wanted to study medicine, I wrote English, physics, chemistry, and biology. Those are the 4. So each of those is like 100 points. And also when you fill the form, you choose 2 universities. So you have like your first choice and your second choice. The first choice for me was Unilag as University of Lagos, and my second choice was UI as University of Ibadan. Usually your first choice is like where you want to go, obviously your first choice. So you just kind of hope and pray that you get in there, and the second choice is just kind of like, you know, if anything happens, you go to the second university. So anyway, I did JAMB, and I remember before JAMB I told myself, God, please, I want to get to like 298 and above in JAMB. I just told myself. I didn't really tell anybody because the high school I went to, our grading system was very, very high. For us, F9 was from 61 and A1 was from, I think it was 96. 96 to 100 was A1. So we just kind of tend to give ourselves like this really high cutoff marks, like even in our minds, apart from the general cutoff mark. I didn't even know the cutoff mark then for medicine. You know, for JAMB, all I knew was I want to get from like 298 and above in JAMB because it's over 400 at least. Let me get a little over half. Sha did the exam and everything. So I remember I went to get my result, and and I remember, you know, all these computer centers. Is it computer center? Because all these places where you go with you have this little card with your details and everything. So you go there and you get your result. I got 280 in JAMB. I was really, really kind of sad because it wasn't what I wanted, you get. And the computer guy that was there was like, see, you sabi buko, this one. And in my mind I was like, you don't even understand. So I went home anyway, and I told my mom, and she was so happy, and she was telling all her friends, and I was like, okay, maybe 280 is not so bad. So I was happy as well. So after JAMB, of course, you were to write post-JAMB, okay? So there's WAEC. WAEC is like West African exam. So many people from West Africa, we know of this exam. We all write it after or in our final year in high school. For JAMB, that's like a Nigerian exam before you go into uni. And then post-JAMB is specific to the different universities. So university of this place will have their own, university of that one will have their own, and stuff like that. So after JAMB, I went on to write post-JAMB for University of Lagos, since that was my first choice. And since I passed JAMB with such a high score, apparently, it was like, okay, we've got this, okay, Post jam, let's see. I went on to write post jam and the result came out and I got 70. Unfortunately, the cutoff was I think 74 or 72. I'm not exactly sure, but I did not reach the cutoff mark. Okay. And another thing that happened was usually in Nigeria, for whatever reason, I'm not really sure, but there are certain people from like certain states who have an edge over others. So I'm from Edo State, yeah. So for people who apply to Unilag from, let's say, Lagos State, people from Ogun State, places like that, their own cutoff marks were a bit lower. So you see someone from Ogun State, for example, whose cutoff mark will be about 64 or thereabouts, compared to the overall cutoff of like I think it was 74. Someone from Ogun State who got 60 something, they would have like the edge over me and they will actually get in. So since my state of origin was not on any of their like lucky states list, I can't remember what it's called, but I think there's a name for it, sha. So since I was from Edo State and my state wasn't included in one of these stuff they do, I couldn't get in to study medicine in Unilag. Well, what we all thought then was like, okay, since my score was pretty high, the chances are that I will get maybe a similar course or a course in the same, I think, faculty or something like, let's say, microbiology. So they do this thing where if, let's say, you get into microbiology and your plan is to study medicine, if you do really, really good in school, your results are like, you know, you get the chance to like transfer to medicine, something like that. Abi? Yeah, something like that, sha. So that was kind of the plan for me. Like in my case, you study, do what you can, and then you can transfer to medicine. And I forgot something. So there's this thing here that they do in Unilag. I'm not sure if other universities in Nigeria do it, but I know for sure that Unilag does it, and it's called diploma. So the idea is you apply for diploma here, and it's kind of like an A-level kind of thing, I believe. So after that, you just go directly to second year or something like that. I'm not really sure, but I do remember some of my friends did this diploma thing, and they were also in the same kind of situation I was in. They passed the post jam, but their states weren't they didn't get up to the cutoff mark, and their states weren't on the lucky list, you know. So but they had this diploma thing, so they were able to go in. I didn't know about it until it was really late. So what I was just counting on was this whole do a similar course and then transfer. So we're all waiting now. Okay, let's see where your name will pop up, because you know, if you don't make the grade, I think for like a certain course, they put your name in another spot. So we're all waiting now, and I remember going to check the list. It was online as well, like one of these computerized things, sha. So I went to check the list though. I scrolled this thing, like medical faculty or something like that, science, skinny, sha, something. I scrolled all the science related stuff. I not see my name. Biology, microbiology, this one, that one. I scrolled everywhere. I didn't see my name, and I was like, did they skip my name? Because all these schools, they can be very, very shady. Anyway, I shall check. I don't see. That's how you guys not believe. They now put my name under botany. Okay, now see. No disrespect to anyone who studied botany, okay? But honestly, I was shook, alright? Because my WAEC result was bomb. My JAM result was a bomb. My post-JAM wasn't up to the cutoff, but it was still bomb. So I was like, how did you people put me in botany? Why did you people put me here? All the way here. And the way, I think botany was in which faculty? I'm not even sure. So it's not one of those that you can cross. Do you get? You can, I think you could easily go from this science to that science, but not like from far. So I was like, botany, how? Please, what, help me, you know. So you know all these things now, when your parents try to help you and stuff like that. So we tried to talk to a couple of people here and there, and they were like, oh, there's really not much they can do, but botany is not bad. I said, excuse me, oh, excuse me, sorry. I know if it's your child, you not put them there with this kind of result. Because me, I was really proud of my result. Like, come on. I know there are people who may struggle to get into uni and they just take it, but I was like really confident in myself, like, no, I don't deserve this, you feel me? And if there are people with lower scores than I got that were doing some more medical sciencey related stuff, you can't just throw me all the way to botany. Why? Like, you could have put me even in pharmacy, even in dentistry. Like, I was ready. That's how that one did not work out though. We were like, okay, well, bye, because I'm not doing any of that, okay? I still had UI, so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to try UI's on post-jam and see how it goes. So that's how I carried myself to UI now, to go and do their own post-jam. And the thing is, around the time Unilag did their post-jam, UI also did their post-jam, so it was like first batch. So seeing as it was my second choice, I had to write in a different batch. And what now happened was, because UI was my second choice, they now had this policy where, well, you chose us as a second choice, so we withhold the right to so something like that. Anyway, they made me change my preferred course of study to dentistry. You know, in JAMB, I applied for medicine for both schools, but since UI was my second choice, I had to change to dentistry. On the day of the exam, I went to UI. I even saw some of my friends who were in the same exam hall, like sitting right beside each other. I remember Chiamaka was there. Who else was there? Okay, Fega. I saw Fega that day, but I don't think she was in the same like room as me. I saw a bunch of people from my secondary school. So anyway, we wrote the exam and all that stuff. Some weeks later or whatever, the results came out. I checked the list for dentistry for my name, and my name did not show up. I started panicking. I was like, what's happening? First, Unilag, now here. Okay, I scrolled. You know when you're looking at each name, I even was looking at matric number. Not matric number, like our exam number. I was looking at like, did they mix up this thing? I went through each name, you know, from the first one and stuff. Anyway, one of my friends, Juliana, she eventually buzzed me. She was like, babe, didn't you write the exam for like dentistry now? I was like, yeah, but I didn't see my name. She said, I saw your name in education. I was like, education? That's another faculty, Abi. She was like, how come your name was in education? I was like, I don't know. Okay, let me check. Because I was even now kind of like relieved that my name was somewhere. Because I didn't see my name in the whole of dentistry list. I was like, where else would my name be? You know. Anyway, it turns out my name was under education. So I looked at it. My name was even second, I think. Was second on the education like list of names. And my score, what did I even get self? I think I got 69. Again, like with Unilag, I saw people who had lower scores than me under dentistry. I was like, what's happening? Why is this only me? You know, I was like, how is this happening? Why? Like, how did I get such a score? And people just throw me to wherever I want. That is not what I applied for. Like, even if I didn't make the exact cutoff, put me in a faculty that is like, I don't even know if it's faculty or department they won't use it, but I would say faculty, I don't know. So put me in a faculty that is kind of like closely related to what I want to study. I can't say I want to study medicine, I can't put me in another place, that kind of thing. So it was very, very, I cried. I remember one of my friends, Abel, I used to whine and I used to cry, and I was like, God, what is happening? So after all that though, I cried to my mom, I cried to my dad, like, it's okay, no, we'll try and see what we can do, we'll try and talk to people, you know. And I don't understand. My dad came all the way to UI because I had gone on my own with a family friend to write this exam. So after this whole everything happened now, we now went back to the UI to see this, my dad's I think it was maybe a classmate or something back in the day. But anyway, I talked to a couple of people and they were like, oh, there's nothing they can do. That education is so far off from, you know, medicine and dentistry that if it was something closely related, they might have been able to help, but they can't just jump me from education to medicine or something. And we're like, how did her name, like me, how did my name even get there in the first place? Like, it was so irritating. I don't even know, because everything was sha merit to me. I was like, come on, this is not fair. Initially I was like, I'm not doing this. No, I don't deserve, like, I cried there. Long story short, I was like, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna do this first year, okay, so that I'll not be at home. I had told my folks that what we'll do is we'll try and find some place abroad where I'll go, but for the meantime I'll just go to UI. And the thing is, this period was this was like late in the year, around I think October, November, thereabouts. So most universities, like abroad and stuff, they were not taking students anymore because it was like a new school year, something like that. So most of them, their entries had closed, you know, until like the next year. So the plan was, okay, you know what, while you're going through the school year or whatever, we'll try and sorting something out and then you can move, you know. So I remember while this was going on, I was still trying to hustle some schools, you know, in the UK, at like Queen Mary and Sheffield and different places. So eventually, you know, I settled for this education thing and they gave me anatomy and zoology. So I went about, you know, applying as a new student, like my first year, like 100 level. So I did the whole medical thing. I remember I stayed with my friend Ekene. I stayed at her place, and in fact I even had to travel to my high school from UI alone in public transport, and I was so afraid that one will catch me. I went because he said they needed my WAEC result, not just the printout from anywhere. They wanted the one with the school logo and all that stuff. So I just woke up one day and started going to Jebutele to go and get this thing. Like I said, I did the medical stuff, and I was even looking for hostel. I saw a couple of places. Kenesh took me around and things like that. After all that was said and done, and I went back home to Lagos. It was now at that point I was like, okay, wait, you know what? Instead of wasting money on paying fees, instead of wasting money on transportation, on hostel, on feeding, on just everything for 1 year, I'd rather just stay at home, alright? Like, I told my mom, I was like, I don't want to do this. Save the money for everything else we're planning. Because if the plan is to go like outside the country to study, might as well just save 1 year of school fees and add it. Abi, just add it jeje to the one we used to travel. Add it, even if it's flight ticket, just add it. Around this period, like November, December, stuff like that, my friend Fega, she came to Ukraine. You know, I think she had done this whole Ukraine thing before and stuff like that. Another friend of mine, Kuyet, the same. Well, I think it was from them I really heard about Ukraine. And of course, at this time, it was late to start applying. I was like, well, next year we'll get on that. So because most of the schools in the UK were super expensive, I was like, I don't know if we can afford that. But we shall eventually settle for Ukraine. I had to do research. I remember my dad was on my neck like, Ukraine is cold, they don't speak English, this that. In my mind I was like, there are people there, see, my friends are there. So if anything, I'll be fine. So that was how I just scrapped the whole schooling in Nigeria stuff and then started like really going in for this whole Ukraine thing. And you know what, that one is another story on its own. But yeah, the Nigerian educational system is so whack. Honestly, I don't even know how they do things. If you were to get admitted into school, easy peasy, there's strike here, there's this one, traveling on the roads is not even safe, you're worrying about lecturers and this and that. There's just a lot going on, and honestly, I'm just really thankful for, like, you know, provision. I'm thankful to God because every disappointment is a blessing. I really cried. I cried. I was like, God, see my life. So I'm going to waste how many years? And I remember my mom saying, she said something about doing JAMB again. I said, no, I'm not writing JAMB again because I passed it the first time. So this whole situation is not my fault. It's not my fault. So I'm not going to do JAMB twice. I know the way exams are, especially when you have to keep retaking them. The possibility of you getting high score just keeps dropping. It keeps dropping. It's just like natural. You know, if you're fresh out of high school, your brain is still hot, everything is still fresh, you're still, you know, popping, you pour it in the exam hall. But after a year, you're not in school. Are you really studying? Are you, what, like, it's not the same, you get. So I was like, no, I'm not gonna write this exam twice because I passed it the first time. and it's not my fault we're in this situation. It's just the school system in this country. So anyway, that was how that happened. How Nigeria wanted to spoil everything, wanted to put sand in my gari. But yeah, thank God, thank Jesus, thank the Holy Spirit for everything. I eventually came here to Ukraine. I graduated from medical school last year, and yeah, I'm a doctor. Back then, it was I cried a lot. I prayed. It was really tough. I don't even know what it would have been like for me, you know, if I eventually went through with whatever weird options they were giving me. I wouldn't be here today. That's my story. You know, I'm glad everything turned out right, because for many people the story is not the same, and I'm just really grateful. Everything turned out fine, and yeah, I will put up another story time of actual details of the whole process of me coming to Ukraine and things like that. So if you enjoyed this story time, please let me know. I think I have some more stories to share with you guys though. Honestly, I have stories though. But anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you can get notified every time I post. And as always, leave me a nice little comment in the comment section. And if you feel like it, please, you can share some of your stories as well. You know, there might be somebody out there who's going through something and they just need a little bit of, you'll be fine, it'll all work out, it'll all turn out okay. So please share. I would love to read your comments. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.